Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Welcome back for episode 48 of our solo world playthrough with no mods on update 11. Let me get rid of the title screen. And in between 47 and 48, I did play a couple of my pre-work, free time play sessions, so I'm about 2.5 to 3 hours after update 11. If we go and look at our general time, we are on day 5, about 11 hours into it, so that's about 107 hours total played. So in between sessions that I've recorded, I do have about 2 hours? No, about 40 hours of off recorded play, non-recorded. We cleaned up a couple of stockpiles here so that we could put our tier 3 craft room over here, the start of it. We've been making roads so that we could dig up the dirt and lay the road out there so that we can get over to the jungle. Eventually we'll continue this and put the road right up along somewhere close here to the river. Down here we did dig up some more iron, not through our little original hallway that is still closed off with the dirt. We decided to dig another path down this way. This is actually the one we started digging, I think. Maybe I did this offline, but I ended up digging through that wall instead of doing this, and then we came up. Dirt is where we laid it all down from above. That's the floor. So we were digging the iron out as we could, because we didn't know how deep it was. Turns out it's only basically one more level, so we got 440 in there. There's another almost 80 up here. So we got about 520 ore. We were making some more glass. We were crushing limestone to or crushing granite. To get more crushed. We're currently got 15 more on that one, and then 34 on this one, and then we will throw the modules in there. That was something else that I did, is I made more of the basics. So I have 2 more sitting here so that we can cut down the time from 2 minutes to 1 minute. Nothing else is going to change. We're just going to cut out a minute worth of crush time. This is going, and it's got 17 more crafts to do. A little less than 17. But we were crushing up the sandstone that we had in here so we can turn it into more sand. We also made our 3 hunting upgrades over at the fishery so we can throw them into the drying racks. Trying to think of what else. I don't know if there was anything else. So all our pages finished. So we do have our 10, our 10, our 20, and our 5. So we can queue up the mechanics book 10 of 10, 10 of 10, 20 of 20, and it's reading 25 because it's counting these 20 here. But that's why we, in storage, we put these first. Because otherwise, the general, it might actually pull 5 of these, and that's not what we want. So we can queue this up. And it pulls what it needed to, in the order that it needed to. And we could actually see it actually says 3,000 calories because we're at level 7 mechanics, so we have 50% calories. So instead of 6, we're using 3. Now that's queued up, and in 30 minutes we'll have the mechanic book. And then we'll start with something else, some other skill. Over here in the kitchen, we made a baked roast, which was an okay food. We also made a fruit muffin, which is okay. So we got 2 more items that we can add into our diet. Over here, we made an autumn stew, which we did not like. It is absolutely bad. And then we made 4 raw bacons on the butcher table, and we made a crispy bacon, and it is good. So it is another meat source for us to add. So we basically do have 3 meat sources. The baked meat, the baked roast, and now crispy bacon that we can have in our diet. It's just a matter of what else we can put in our diet. So you kind of need to get, you can start phasing out the chard because we're getting enough items that we can use otherwise once we make them. La 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 la. What were we going to do? What were we going to do? I don't know. At some point, I put markers on the map for where the fields were going so that I know where I need to go terraform first. So we're going to put some beets here, put some wheat there. The ferns go up here. Commas field is, of course, over there where we've had it. We're going to put some more beets here, more ferns over here. Somewhere up here, this is where sunflowers are going to go. So we know where we have to move the roads. Corn is going to be down here once we level out a little more area. I'm going to continue making this bigger for the tomato field. We're going to get the road to go through here. And then we'll figure out like maybe a ramp down to this level. Once we level out this. Or, you know, it comes through and, you know, maybe up here depending on how big the field is. There's just a bunch of places that we need to lay down roads. So we're constantly, any granite we're crushing and turning into crushed granite and using it to make more roads. So we said the reason why we were trying to get over to the jungle so that we can go get clay because we don't have any more. And it's not as, there's a lot more clay in the jungle than there is anywhere else. So we can just run this across and then we'll run up to the jungle. I said we're going to probably try to go like a land claim off of the river, because we might be able to stick prickly pears down the edge. So the idea is to figure out where we want to go over here in the jungle. Now the thing is, over here in the jungle, we have coquina mushrooms that we're going to pick. It's another mushroom. But we need those and the coquinas, or the criminies, sorry. We need the coquinas, the criminies, and the boleys to do the mushroom medley. So we'll have to collect those. These little red ones, the brown ones, and the pure white ones. Those are the three. So the idea here, I hate the fact that we can't tell how high we need this stuff. The best thing we could do would be to... I did realize something. With the iron shovel, you can go and collect 3 of the same item. So if it's clay, we can get 3 clay. If it's dirt, we can get 3 dirt. If we get some form of crushed, you get 3 crushed. If it's sand, 3 sand, whatever. But like I said, the biggest thing is we need to get more clay. So we'll just keep picking up clay here because we need it to make more bricks for our tier 3 house. For crushed shale, which we can also take because that's another brick type. You use shale and clay and sand, and you get twice as many wet bricks as you do. See, if we do this and go here, the used in shale brick. So we get 8 bricks, 8 wet bricks for basically twice the amount of sand, twice the amount of clay, plus the crush. So eventually we'll have crushed shale. If we can get to a point where we have a tree farm over here, we'll bring a windmill over here, and we'll throw down some more rastas over here. See, it's shale. Here's a clay. Clay. Pick up as much clay as we can. Because we still have wet brick recipe up that is not finished. But the biggest thing is our stockpile with clay in it is empty. See, if we went here and went to regular clay wet bricks, we have 312. So basically, instead of using more clay for the wet brick, or for the shale brick, so we're going 312 and 4 molds to get 4. If we do the shale brick, we're using twice the sand, same clay, and the 4 crushed shale, and twice as many molds. But again, we get back half of those molds. Just like the ones we'd use in order to make the regular wet, where we're using 4 and we get back 2. Same thing. So, I mean, we'd save on the amount of clay that we need by doing the shale brick, which is what we really want to do. So if we can, we'll try to start switching to the shale brick. Oh, full. Alright. And now that we have this road over to here, as soon as we take care of some of this dirt here to guarantee we can get through without dumping our wagon, we'll be able to come over here and start chopping up all those trees. And it'll help with our lumber production. Not necessarily doing the chibas, but we could get to the palms. We could get to those birch, or not the birch, but the pine. I think it's pines. Whatever the other one, whatever the one is in the ward forest is right there. Getting a lot of cactus that are fully grown, so we'll be able to grab all those and chop them down. Add to our allotment of tree farm. So there's a lot of tasks to do, and as one person it's hard to do them all. That's why it's supposed to be a multiplayer game. Sure felt like it's been longer than 20 minutes already. Alright, so come on. I don't know what you're catching on. Quit it. Alright, so we'll bring this over here, go here, find our clay stockpile. There it is. throw those there, throw those there. Where were the roads? There they are. We'll throw them into this cart. So let's go downstairs and check out our wet bricks. This was almost done making wet bricks. So if we can get some shale over here, even if we crush it in the Erastus over here, we'll be able to do the shale brick and save on clay. So that's what that's a task for another day, but you know, I just wanted to finish out this recipe. So, trying to decide what I want to do. Let's go ahead and start tearing up the first layer here. So that we can get our machinist table made. Throw it up there. Hey, another star. Eventually we'll be collecting stars that we just can't freaking do anything with because there's only so many skills. This is number 5. So of course our bricks are probably not within range. I'm not sure where they're at. Can we grab our bricks? No. What about from here? Can we grab the bricks from here? What about here? Alright, maybe we'll have to go downstairs to get them. Or wait, they're behind this. There they are. Let's do 6 for the floor. We're doing floor. Now the question is, what do we want to do with the floor? Do we want to do it like the kitchen? I think so. So we'll go ahead and do this. Oh, that was not full, so we have another row there to take out. So we got this, and then we can put glass there. Go ahead and throw that in there. So we gotta go all the way up with this. So all 5 tiles, 4 tiles, whatever. So we need to go all the way up to here. Alright, so now we can start picking this up. Let it tumble. Throw that in there. I think that's all of it. Let's check to see if we're on even 4. Yes, we are. So we can go ahead and do this and get rid of these. Give me those bricks, and we will go to number 6 and go to the wall, and then we'll go up. Change it to this. Put that corner in. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We'll go back to this and start there, come across to 14. There. Start the ceiling. So let's grab more bricks. We need to eat food. And we kind of also need to boom, just like that. Broken hammer. So let's repair the hammer. Trying to think what I was gonna do. I had a thought. I'm just trying to remember what that thought was. Come on. What was your thought? God, I can't think of it now. Is it picking up the glass? I don't know, but I will pick up some glass. What we need? 6 bricks. Now we're making wet bricks, so we need to go dry them. In the kiln. Walls can be anything we want. Wood, or I should say lumber. There's that. So we got no more lumber, so we need to make more. Alright, couple things. First, how many boards do we have? We don't have any. So we need to make boards to make more lumber. Which means we need to go collect more wood. Or... I'm drawing a blank right now. Crushed roads, stockpile. Bring these down here. I'll use up that. Wait, how many board? We got 40, 28, 83. Alright, let's make boards out of that. Got 83, so let's go ahead and make 83. Oh wait, that's a half, isn't it? Yeah, that's a half. So we can do 166. Storage, pulling from there. We'll figure that out. Our sawmill is going. It has 20 more to go. Of course, it needs a lot of boards, so still we're going to have to go collect wood. Drop down to the kiln. Bricks. We got 80 dried or 80 wet. So if we do 80, because it is 1-to-1, we'll need a lot more mortar. So start queuing that up. Let's go back up. We need more mortar. So we're using it for roads, and we'll be using it for bricks. We only have 24 sand, which we can easily move more. We got plenty. No, we don't have any more downstairs. We'd have to go digging it. Boy, I'm running into problems everywhere of not having materials. So, we'll do 200. That'll get started, and we're gonna have to eat food. We could dig sand. We could crush sandstone and rock it. We got a lot of things. We're gonna go through a lot of food. Need to set up cooking for the other stuff. Alright, sand, we got 154, we're using one each, so let's do 75 in this one. And do 75 in this one. Let's go eat so we can start rocking our crushed sandstone, and then once it's done, or once it's getting used up and put in where it's supposed to go down below, we will bring more sandstone up and crush it to make more crushed sand or more silica, and then rock it some more. So we have that there. We just need to find a way. Can we reach a sandstone? Yes, we can. Alright, so we can pull this stuff up to here. Supposedly it says stone rows, but the engineering table does not reach this far. So from here to... can't reach it, so let's come across the road. And we can reach it from here and throw this stuff in here. And we'll keep doing that, just like we're doing for our granite here, by pulling it from wherever we're pulling it. So this is the crush from there, and we have this stuff down here. We can do that, and we will pull this back down. Pull that so we have room for it. And that just gets rid of this stockpile over here. This is the one we were just moving it out of. See? So we're crushing that, turning it instantly into rows, crushing this, turning it into silica, which turns it, the rockers turn into sand. The sand goes down below to our stockpile down here. That's in the corner of the house. It'll go into that stockpile. As you see, there's a little bit of clay. But we're using sand both in... not there anymore. But we are using it here. So we got 10 more glass to make. But since we use this one up, if we do this and we move this to here, we just shift that stockpile over. Oh, that's coal. It's like, what's the black stuff in there? And I remembered we dug up a little bit of coal. So it's just a matter of doing stuff. We got copper we can crush. But we're using 2 arastas to do granite, get rid of it. I think both of them stopped because we're not... Nope, one of them did pull, so we are doing some. I don't know how much is left. That one finished, so let's find our... Okay, how many are left in that? 16. Alright, so let's first grab one of these. And we'll throw it in this arasta. So now, instead of it taking 2 minutes, it's now 1 minute. 2 minutes without, 1 minute with. So now we can go ahead and crush, if we do 60, that's 720. So we can start crushing here. We'll have to go get more calories to finish that out. What do you know? More calories, more calories, more calories, more calories, more calories. Eat more food, eat more food, eat more food. This is why on a multiplayer server there is The cooks are usually pretty busy, you know, trying to keep up with everybody, especially with the varied diets that people are actually trying to have the best XP. Speaking of XP, that's what I forgot all about. Guess what? Our 2 bath mats and our 4 large mats, large rugs. So we were going upstairs, and in the bathroom, we need to place a rug. And then we'll come over to the other bathroom and place a rug. Now we'll come to this rug. Okay, seriously? Tell me that. Alright, we'll put them in here for now. We'll just stick them in the corner. We'll move this around later. We need to go ahead and stick this somewhere here in the middle. We can go downstairs and stick the other one in here. So, still got 0 because we don't have any living room furnitures, but that's where those go. Actually, we're going to pick this one up. And we're going to bring it over here. So if we throw it there. I think we're going to go get that other one out of the other living room, because it's not doing anything up here. It's not doing any value up there. We will have a 50% value by throwing a second one in this kitchen, but our kitchen is now giving us 18.28, because we are over the 20-point cap. Or over the 15, I should say, for tier 3 materials. 5 for each tier. Now, of course, we still have some hewn logs that we need to get rid of out of this room, but that's a problem for another day. But now the only thing that is giving less is the flower pots that we put in here, because it's capped out at 2.95 out of possible 3. But cast iron stove is considered a duplicate because of the baking oven, I believe. I believe. Yes, it's kitchen cooking. And because that's 5 and that's 5, that's why that's given 1.5 times just 30% of that. We'll end up putting another ice box in here. The mill's full, but you know, that's considered food prep, not cooking. But the first bedroom's at 13.2, so we are now at Just by adding these rugs, we have jumped ourselves over 100 points of XP base per craft. So everything, all our recipes are being based off 113 points. 114 now. This is why you raise your tier level of your materials, so you can put more things in the room without them being capped. So since the current cap of the property is 56.67, and bathrooms can only be 33% of the primary rooms, means that it can only max out at 18.71. So we're just under that. The bathroom point reduction is just under, or the bathroom for that. The total of the two bathrooms is more than what can be on the property, is what it's ending up doing. So we still need to get the living rooms up. These industrials are the front craft rooms. We're not worried about them because they're not going to give us anything. The second bedroom is a little bit low because of those 55 hewn logs right here on the floor. Once we turn them to lumber, that will come up. But like I said, there's just so many tasks to do, and I don't have that many arms to do it. The best I can do is pick something and do it. So, we're full on our roads. So I guess what we'll do is find out where our roads are going. They're getting placed somewhere. I think they're being placed in the haven't decided where I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna go a 10 by 10 room to start. Which gives us 8 by 8 interior. We'll have to find the machinist table and make it. Once the room is complete. No, we're gonna have to dig more out. I forgot about that. Goddamn hiccups. Yay, another glassworks. Come on, hiccups, stop. I almost want to go ahead and dig out the rest of this for the rest of the room, but I don't want to. I think that's all of those. Nope, there's that one. Yeah, we'll pick up that, and then we can try this 8. Go here. Like those, and then we need what, 24 more? We'll just grab a stack. And we'll figure it out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. So over here and back one. There we go. Go ahead and throw these back in here. We'll find our bricks. We'll go to floor. And because we have it set to floor decal, we can just go from there to this corner. And we got it all. And now we could go to wall and go up. That's what. No. Wrong buttons. That. Here we go. Okay, fine. We'll do this one the hard way. Have to place a doorway in there, in that wall somewhere. So let's go from here, go here. So if we decide to put a doorway in here, for now, we'll just go ahead and put it here in the corner. So here, here, and there, and then the rest of that can be wood. So we need to go get wood to make lumber. So we have an empty cart here. The question is, which lumber do we want to go, or which wood do we want to go after? So let's go do a little scouting. Too hungry. Should have paid attention. We're going to check our oats that we planted. We're going to check our redwoods and firs that are over here above the house. 91, so we got, these are getting close. He's got about 20 hours. So maybe 12 or 12 episodes. Alright, those are good. Those are pretty well good. So these wild ones we can go ahead and cut down. Those are on their spots. They're all within maybe 5 hours. So we could go ahead and cut all these. This is where we're going to get our wood, so we can replant. You can see that's there, but we'll make these couple here that we planted late work. I mean, we're not going to worry too much about those. So we're going to take our axe and start chopping trees. Good thing is these are far enough away from our field that we don't have to worry about it. I told you before. What does it look like when I'm done chopping trees? Looks like a tornado that went through a trailer park. Here, chop that one, chop this one, chop this one, missed that one. Alright, so that takes care of all of those, and we can go ahead and chop this, and chop this, come over this way, go ahead and hit these, since they're close enough. Go ahead and hit these two. Go ahead and hit this, get rid of it. You know what, go ahead and get this one out of the way. We'll get this tree out of the way. We'll get this out of the way. this out of the way. Yep, let's go ahead and get these out of the way because this is maxed out. This one might not be, but we're going to just get rid of it anyway. We're already clearing. And that's about where we'll stop. But this is what it looks like when I go chopping trees. I told you, it looks like a tornado went through. So now we need to get a cart. So that we can drop that, or be over the stockpile and start dropping wood down. And we're at just over an hour. There it is. Okay. 2. Start chopping trees up. So this is where the lumberjack would go in and start chopping up all the debris. Once they're down like this, it's basically the same calories for everybody. Everybody's taking one chop to break off five wood, so on a multiplayer server, the lumberjack, the logger, whatever you want to call them, will come through and knock all these trees down, and then they will pick up all the debris, while anybody else that decides to come help and take wood and move it to where it needs to go can come chop up the trees and clearing those, sticking them in wagons, taking them off to the back to the where the sawmill or the carpentry tables are, to be turning them into boards and logs, dowel rods, whatever's needed. The only difference is a slight bit of calorie difference for, between the lumberjack and anybody else for cutting these into sections. Not by much. I mean, it's like because the logger's going to be at max skill, they'll get 50% of the calorie usage, so that's about the only difference. But even if the logger is the one chopping everything down, turning it into 5 log segments, and somebody just comes by and starts picking everything up, no different than a miner going through and going a full line back and forth, dropping a whole bunch of chunks, and somebody else just picking them up and throwing them in a cart. I really don't want to do that because I don't want things to sprout up right away. Alright, are we within reach of our food? No, we are not. Great. I was hoping we were close enough to the food. We obviously we're not. We'll get food. We'll put that cart to where it can reach that stockpile. And then we'll start throwing it down. What we do need, though, is to take those logs and throw them somewhere else. Throw them in there. Move them over one. Okay, so I think we want to be right here. For one, we can see their food, but we do not see the stockpile that we want. So we need to come this direction a little bit. Can we find that stockpile now? Yes, we can. Cool. There we go. I'll be kicking the logs everywhere. Throw those down, throw those down. Potential spam, huh? Yeah, get rid of that crap. Wondering how much of those are attached to the fact that I'm trying to refinance my home. Because I wasn't getting all those spam shit until I started refinancing my home last week. The same thing about all these stupid things. Oh, hey, do you want to? Can we talk to you about your house? Yeah, we can talk to it. I'm not fucking selling it. There, we've talked about it. Kiss my ass. We buy homes. Yeah, good for you. You ain't getting mine. And you're not going to pay me what it's actually worth. Two, I kind of want to have a house to live in. That's why I bought it. And I like the house that I bought. I bought it because I liked a certain set of options, and this one has them. So, yeah. I don't care. Time to throw them back down again. Yes, it's not 35, but remember I threw 5 of these into the stockpile earlier. Keep chopping, keep chopping, keep chopping. So our wood is almost full. Actually, let's finish chopping something. go ahead and keep chopping this stuff up so it's all ready to go. Need to go down and queue up more boards, that's for sure. Okay. Too hungry. Come over to our cart where we can reach our food. Wait. Did we move it somehow? Alright, secondary method. Go to our old campsite. That's all cut, that's not. Right, now that's cut. Come over here and get this one. Come up here. I think that's everything that's on this level at least. Not quite. Here's this one. So, combination broken axe and other stuff. So I guess we'll head downstairs. We gotta queue up boards anyway. So I think I'm gonna call this one here, and we'll start queuing up boards in the next episode. We'll get more wood down here, so we'll just make a ton of boards so we can get lumber. We'll start making more flax seeds in the next episode so we can get more flax oil. We'll get that craft room up. We'll find out where the machining table is located and start crafting it as well. I don't think it's on the sawmill, or is it? Machinist table. Yeah, that's what we need. So we'll get that queued up as well, so that it can go in that room on the other side of the wall there. We'll get that room enclosed with lumber. Then we'll be able to start mechanics. But we'll do other stuff like going in. If I'm offline, I'll go collect more clay. I'll collect some shale so we can make more bricks. Because we'll want that room another 5 by 10 wide. And then we're going to need to collect stuff in order to be going down below. It is below this room. Over here. What's below here. I mean, technically we could put another lumber or sawmill behind that wall if we dug it all out, but we're going to have to dig all that out anyway. Because it's still rock. But I think we are done with this episode. I have done quite a bit. So I will see everyone in episode 49, where we continue with this craft room, continue with lumber making, and who knows what else. But until then, enjoy your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you happen to be. Until then.